Hey bass players, Tatiana is here. Welcome back to my channel. Have you ever been in a situation when the band leader suddenly says, let's take it up a whole step, and you're like, wait, what? Well, that's where transposition comes in. Today we are going to break it down so that you can move any bass line, any riff or chord progression into a different key as quickly and easy as possible. Transposition simply means shifting a music piece from one key to another while keeping the relationships between notes the same. This is the example of the vocal warm-up, which I'm pretty sure you've heard before, and it uses transposition. It's a must-know skill for any bassist, whether you play pop, rock, jazz, funk or whatever else. The easiest way to transpose is by thinking in intervals. Let's say we have this simple bass line in G. If we need to move it to A, we take every note and take them up a whole step. Now it sounds like this. Here's a quick chart for common transpositions. If you want to move a whole step up, you just take everything and move 2 frets higher. If you need to go a half step up or a semitone up, you just move 1 fret up. If you have to move a perfect fifth up, you just take this pattern, put it onto the next highest string and shift 2 frets up. Here it is. All the other intervals move to the same pattern, this interval up or down. Another approach, which I like more, is thinking in chords and their relations. If your groove follows the 1-4-5 progression in C major, it'll be the notes C, F and G, and it'll be 1-4-5 no matter the key. I've made a video about functional chords, you might find it useful. If we move to D major, it becomes D, G, A. With the positional playing on the bass, if this is my 1, then 4 will be always here, the next highest string, the same fret. Or the same note, which is 4, can be found here, 1 octave down. So this is my 1 and this is my 4. 5 will be here, the next highest string, 2 frets up. Or the same note can be found an octave down, just the string above my number 1. So finding them is easy. For C major, this will be 1, this will be 4, and this will be 5. The same rule works here. D, this is my 4 in D major and 5. If I want to go higher, I can do it. So this is my E, like 1, and this is 4 for E and 5 for E. When people take the first note of the key as 1 and number all the other chords according to it, starting with 1, this is the Nashville number system, and it's widely used everywhere from classical music to all the modern genres. These are the numbers, and here you can see the chords for them in C major and G major scales. Often we have more than 3 chords in a song, and finding the chords which are numbered like 2, 4, 6 or any of them works the same way on the bass. You just use positional playing. They're located near number 1 note with the same fingering, and patterns repeat in different keys. More often, Roman numbers for chords are used rather than Arabic numbers. The capital letters mean the major chord, and the lowercase numbers are for the minor chords. Here's an example of the song you all know. I'm going to show you how I'm transposing it. So let it be. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking the words of wisdom, let it be. That was C major scale, and that was pretty low for my voice, so I'm going to lift it 1 tone and half up. It's going to be in E flat major now. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. This is super useful if you are playing in a band that changes key on the fly. Instead of memorizing each specific note, you memorize the function of each note in the key. Let's have a little bit more practice on it. Here's a simple 12-bar blues in G. Here I wrote down both letters and numbers. You can check out my video about playing 12-bar blues if you want. How I find numbers? I know that if this is 1, G, here I'll find 4 and here will be 5. Or I can use just the numbers from the major scale. If I play the G major scale, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my 4 is here and 5 is here. Now, if the band leader wants it in C, we just shift everything up. G becomes C, C becomes F, and D becomes G. Try it with a song you already know. Play it in its original key and then move it up or down a whole step or a half step as you wish. The more you do this, the easier transposition will feel. There are some cases when transposition becomes a little bit more challenging. It's still possible, but you might need a bit of extra time to figure out your new positions. If you play riffs where you got used to playing with the open strings, transposition might become a bit harder. For example, in the song Stand By Me, I use the open D. If I have to move it a whole step up or a tone up, it will be the B major key, and I can't use the open string D anymore. Instead of this, I will have to use E, which is a tone higher, here or here. So my position will look different now. Another difficult case for transposition is when you use a pretty low tonic or number 1, somewhere here or here, and you need to transpose it even lower. For example, if you play a G major triad here, it will look and sound like this in its usual position for major triads. If you put the same here to F, you will have to use the open string A now, so your fingering is quite different. And when you have to move it even lower, let's say to the open E, your usual fingering for major triads doesn't work anymore. You need to figure out a new one, and it will look like this. You might use the lower string B if you have the 5 or 6 string bass, but if you don't, you will have to rethink your positions when you need to go lower than the lowest note on your instrument. And of course, you can find another tonic on your instrument in another place. For example, I can take E here and play the standard major triad position, or here, and it will work too. If you learn songs just using tabs, rethinking positions might be really challenging for you. So I would really encourage you to try to learn notation or just letters for chord charts, and it will make your life better. So that's transposition in a nutshell. Whether you are jamming with a band or just exploring the fretboard, this skill will make you a more flexible and confident bassist. If you are currently learning a riff, try to transpose it a whole step or a tone up and a whole step or a tone down, just to see how transposition works. You might take it as a homework for this lesson if you want. You're welcome to share your experience in the comments. Don't forget to press the like button if you liked this video and subscribe if you want more bass tips and you haven't subscribed yet. Happy practicing! See you next time!